Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Fox's Best Laid Plans, the sad girl planner channel for like-minded sad people. Hello. Is the world a lot? Are you feeling overwhelmed every day? Do you feel just like going out into a field and screaming, and then it confuses the cows, and the cows are like, oh no, you're upset, and they come over to comfort you, and then you're just slobbery, but you're kind of a little bit better, but then you know you're just gonna have to go out in a field and scream and upset the cows again the next day? Welcome. You are my people, and we are here together. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Chaos channel you all know and love. It's me, Fox. If you're new here, hi, I'm Fox. I do planner things, I do travel things, I have an adorable dog, and I am writing currently. And I was writing last night, believe it or not. Believe it or not. This is the last plan that you saw. This was my Lunar New Year week kit. It's just, this kit was so freaking gorgeous. I love it. I think it turned out really nice. I'm very happy with that. But the funny thing is, that was 2 weeks ago, so you never even saw last week's kit, which was this, which is not complete. I still have to finish these 3 days. But I didn't actually film a plan with me last week because things were just a lot. Things were emotionally a lot, and also emotionally very good a lot on these 3 days, which I'll talk about in a minute. If you can see, I don't know if you can, how much you can read on the actual pages here, but we brought home a foster dog on Friday the 7th, and it was like the most magical weekend having 2 dogs. I was like, oh, I'm a 2-dog mom. It was a nice little, nice little dream there. But anyway, I will tell you more about that. But we are going to move on and plan this week. It is Saturday, and I was like, Monday I'm going to do this planner, and then like husband got up early, and I was like, okay, Tuesday I'm going to do this planner, and then I was just crying all day Monday because Tuesday was the day that I had to bring my foster pup back to the shelter, because the good news is he got adopted. He got adopted the next day. So it was a good reason that I had to bring him back to the shelter, but I was still an emotional wreck and hot mess, and I don't even know. But anyway, we'll talk about this more as we're going on. But before I knew it, it was Friday, and I was like, okay, I'm going to do my planner Friday morning, which is late, but whatever. And then husband usually gets up and does the trash on Friday, because the trash comes at like 7:15. He usually like gets up, does the trash, and then goes back to bed. And yesterday he was like, I'm awake. And I was like, but why? It's easier for me to do my planner when he is asleep. I don't know why it matters. He doesn't care. He watches my channel, so he knows what I'm saying. It's not like, I don't share my planner stuff with him, but yeah. Also, one of my candles, like, I don't know, there's candle ash all over my desk, and I thought I got it all cleaned up, and now I'm paranoid that I didn't. Anyway, let's move on. This is the week of Monday, February 10th through Sunday, February 16th. This is my Moxie Life flagship planner, and it is, like I said, Saturday, and it is snowing, y'all. I thought we were done. I thought the snow was behind us and we could move on with our lives. That's not true. It is not the case. Let me also set my timer because I have to make sure I leave on time today, because I'm going to drive through the snow to get to work. So yeah, I don't know. I just feel like everything's a lot lately, and I am just continually behind, which I don't love. So I'm using this kit. This is from Pansy's Prints. I actually printed this like a year ago or 2 years ago, even maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna guess this. I printed this in 2023 and never used it. I have been trying to use up my planner kits that I have, like that I've already either printed. I have maybe 3 or 4 more that I have printed that I never used, and then I have a bunch that I bought and never used. So I'm using this one. I thought this was really cute for Valentine's Day week. So let's start planning, because I'm talking too much. But that's one of my things that I'm trying to do this year, is use up the ones that I have. And as you saw too, the last like few weeks, I have been using on kits that have, on like smaller kits, or if I had purchased a mini kit, I've been using leftover kits, which is like something I've always wanted to do. Also, I can take some of my stuff, I thought about this too, some of my leftover kits, if I don't think I'm going to use them again, I could take them to Construction Junction, or no, not Construction, next to that. I could take them to the Center for Creative Reuse. So that's a thing in Pittsburgh here. And it's like you can recycle any kind of like craft materials, but not just craft materials. They have all kinds of like weird stuff so that you could use for crafting, or that you could use for like, you could use it for props if you were filming something. Like, it's kind of a wild place. It's really cool. But when I did my great washi tape purge last year, I brought in like the washi tape that I wasn't keeping, and they were like so stoked. I brought in like a whole box like that big of washi tape that I was getting rid of, and they were like, you just made our day, because we always run out of washi tape and people always want it. And I was like, oh, okay. So there may be another culling of the washi tape in my future. We shall see. As I mentioned like last week or the week before, I have been doing the Simply Gilded subscription box every month, which I love, but it gives you like six pieces. It gives you like 6 rolls of washi tape. So it's a bit much, but I love it. And I love all, like, this is what I'm using today, is these little ghosts. I think I got this at, I don't know where if I actually bought that or if I got that at Go Wild, because they had a table at Go Wild they had a planner fair this year at Go Wild, and you could buy stuff from different vendors, and Simply Gilded's stuff was like so marked down. It was like, the girls that I was hanging out with, we were like, what kind of damage did you do? Oh, what kind of damage did you do? Because it was like that much stuff. Like, it was really awesome. So anyway, so yeah, last week on Friday, we brought home a foster baby, and there were 3 that we were looking at. So if you are new here and you don't know, I'm a volunteer at the shelter here. And our local shelter has 2 branches. So it has the north side where I'm a volunteer, and then it has the east end, which is actually like technically closer to my house, but it's faster to get to the north side because it's all freeway. So I volunteer at the north side. So we did not have any. We had 2 dogs available at the north side for foster, and one was a girl, and I don't know. They say sometimes that like having 2 girls is more likely to have like dogs that don't get along or that sass each other. I don't know. Layla has, she spent a lot of time with my mom's dog, Lily, and those 2 never have a problem, but Layla doesn't really have a problem with anybody, so I didn't want to like chance it. So I was like, for our first one, let's do a boy just in case. And so the only boy that was available on the north side was like a 1-year-old puppy. And I was like, I think I need a little bit, I need an older dog, a more mature dog. So we went to the east end, and the thing was, I didn't know any of the dogs there. So I had to just kind of like look at their little descriptions and be like, this one's cute, let's take him home. So there were 3 boys that we looked at, and I don't know how, here's what happened. There were 3 boys that we looked at, and I was like, okay, any one of those would be good. One of them, like, they knew likes other dogs because he goes to playgroup. And then the other 2 were like, we're not sure, but they could go home with a meet and greet. And like, Layla's pretty chill. So I was like, she can handle meeting dogs. And if they end up not being the right speed for her, she'll be fine. She won't be reactive back. She'll just be like, I don't like this boy, get him out of here. And she'll just like walk away, She has very, very good, appropriate reaction to dogs of various, like another dog barking at her doesn't rile her up. She just goes like, nope, not for me. We should all learn from Layla Grace about how to deal with people that we don't like. She's very good at it. Anyway, so we had these 3 boys. And there were like 3 other dogs. There were like 6 or 7 dogs on the foster list that were available. And the top 3, I was like, okay, any one of those would be good. So we went down to meet them. And one of them, I was unclear why. He was either going for a field trip or they call field trips Barks and Rec, and you can take them for like 3 to 5 hours, and you can take them like to your house or to the park or for a pup cup or for longer walk or whatever. So I don't know if he was leaving for that or if he had, it's like sometimes they'll do appearances on the news, like, or on the local TV programs with the dogs. So there was some reason that he wasn't available. And then the second one that was really cute, he was a big boy, like 80 pounds. They said he was starting to get reactive on leash. So they were going to try him in a foster home that didn't have another dog, just because he's been there for a little while and he's starting to get a little rowdy and amped up. So I was like, that's fine. So they brought the third one out, and his name was Checkers. And at first, they were like, well, he is really kind of like rough. Like, he plays kind of rough. And I was like, well, Layla, like, one of her favorite people to play with is her friend Gino, who is like 130-pound Canet Corso. I never pronounced that right, by the way. And she like roughhouses with him. Like, literally, his head is the size of her body, and she will roughhouse with him. So I was like, yeah, that's okay. She doesn't mind. So they brought this boy out, Checkers. And at first everything was like good, and they were playing very appropriately together, and I was like, okay. And he was playing like a little bit more than she wanted to, and then she kind of was like, okay, let's take a little break. And he was like, but we're playing now. And she was like, yeah, but like, let's just walk around a little bit. And he was like, no, I want to play. And he was like still being bouncy with her, and I was like, So like they were fine, but it would have been a lot. And so I was like, yeah. They're like, yeah, maybe not Checkers. And I was like, oh, shoot. And I was like, I don't know anybody else. And then I was like, let me look at the list again. And I was like, who's this boy Kingston? I don't remember seeing him the first time. I didn't get that far down on the list because he didn't have any notes about if he was good with dogs or not. And they were like, yeah, we don't know because he hasn't done playgroup. And I was like, oh, like, but we can try him. Why not? So he's a 4-year-old. Oh my God, he's perfect, baby. So they brought him out, and he and Layla instantly, like, perfect match. They, like, saw each other across the room, and they got all wiggly. Sorry, y'all, my camera battery died. I had to pause and charge it for a minute, and now I'm back. I don't know where it cut off. Anyway, telling the story of Layla Grace and her new brother. So they brought out Kingston, and he's like 60-pound, very wiggly, buttery soft, little brown pit bull. And as soon as he came into the room, they were like immediately, hi, I like you. And they were like wiggly and loose body and like proper greeting. And they just matched each other's energy so well. So they started like playing together a little bit. And then Layla was like, I need a little break. And he was like, okay, I'm gonna sniff some things. Like, independent time away from each other. He wasn't like obsessed with playing with her like Checkers had been. And then they were like, okay, well, let's take Layla off her leash and see if she still wants to hang out with him. And she was like, yeah, she did. And then they were like, okay, well, let's take Kingston off his leash and see if he still wants to hang out with her. And he did. And so we were like, okay, I guess we're going home. So we brought the baby boy home, and it was the best. It was just... So my word of the year for one little word this year is magic. And I'm trying to, my goal for using this word is, I feel like my depression is not the best that it could be. And I feel like my anxiety is getting worse, and the world around us is not helping. And so I was like, you know what? We focus on putting this down straight here. There we go. I was like, I want to do my word to be magic, because then that way that'll help me try to find like the little moments of magic. Like, if you remember from Twin Peaks, that famous scene. So Dale Cooper says to Harry, every day, once a day, give yourself a present. That's the energy that I was trying to get with this, with having the word magic be my word for the year. So like, it doesn't have to be something like huge, and it doesn't have to be Dave Matthews tickets. It doesn't have to be, a vacation or something. It could be as little as lighting my candles in the morning and having a cup of coffee, or when I set up my little writing, when I get ready to write, I have my little ski lodge that lights up. I have my little flamingo that lights up. I light my ski lodge candle, or my Palm Springs candle. Those kinds of little things can be magic. And so I felt like, you know what, bringing home a foster dog who was such a perfect match in our house and such a perfect little gentleman, that was magic. It was just, I don't know. I was so happy. And I was so sad to have to take him back. So I had to return him. I knew, we picked him up on Friday. On Saturday, I posted, oh God, I can't even think of what else I did this week. Like I said, it was just an emotional week. So I brought him home on Friday. On Saturday, I posted pictures of him with Layla, and I was like, everybody welcome Kingston. Here he is. He's a cute boy. If you're looking for a big, big head, no thoughts boy to be your snuggle bug for the rest of the winter, this is the one. And like 5 minutes later, my friend Dustin, who we marched Winter Guard together in college, sent me a message and was like, tell me more. Can I ask you some questions about this Kingston? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, can I just put an application in for him? And I was like, absolutely, my friend. He put an application in that afternoon. So I kind of knew, like, from day number 2 that Kingston had a hopeful home lined up. But Dustin has another dog named Toji, who's like a little sheep. And so I was like, that's the only thing I was worried about. Like, and his dog plays with other dogs and everything, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like, just because he plays with other dogs doesn't mean he's going to play with this other dog. But I was so nervous about it. It ended up working out great. And actually, I should put a thing in here for that because that was a big thing that day. Excuse you. Where did this come from? Just flew off the pin. Like I said, this is probably a couple years old that I printed this. So some of these stickers I feel like have seen better days. What did we have? We had, ooh, that really good tilapia gremolata. Oh my God, it was so good. It was HelloFresh. Anyway, it was like such a happy day, but I was also just like, Also, it was at noon that they had their meet and greet, and then I was waiting all day, and I was so anxious, and I was like stress cleaning at work. I was like, I have to keep busy. I have to keep busy. And now Kingston's name is Titus. And I just keep seeing updates from Dustin, and he's like living his best life and like having such a happy time. He has a fireplace, he has a little brother, like, oh, it could not be better. Like, it was perfect. And like, people wanted us to keep him so badly, and I wanted to keep him so badly, part of me was like, be realistic. You travel too much to have 2 dogs, because especially one as big as he's like 60 pounds, but he came in as a stray a few months ago. So I know he has more like filling out to do. And I was just like, realistically, there's no way that we could travel with him, because he's going to probably be like, I would say probably 65 or 70 pounds. Maybe not 70, but 65 pounds once he fills out a little bit more. And some of the hotels have weight restrictions that they can only be 40 pounds. And like, it just would be too much. And he wasn't great in the crate. We were doing a lot of work with crate training. So maybe he would get better with that. But like, if I needed to leave them in the hotel so we could go to dinner, for example, Layla just like goes to sleep, and he just cries, and I can't leave a dog that's crying in a hotel room in their crate. So anyway, it wasn't meant to be for us, and that's okay. And even though I spent the entire day Monday crying that it wasn't meant to be for us, it was the right thing. So we'll say, welcome home. Welcome home. And I was being like, Titus, you're forever home. Oh, my baby boy. I was being like helicopter foster mom, like, send me pictures, tell me what's going on. Tell my baby I love him. And so Dustin sent me a little note. He's like, he's home with me now, and he says, thanks for helping him find a home. And I was like, oh my God. It was like so emotional. This was, I will point out to you, this was our first fostering experience. And for it to go that well on the first try is like, I can't believe it. But, oh my God, I have to go. There is so much snow outside. It was not supposed to snow. Or if it was supposed to snow, it was supposed to be like tonight or tomorrow night. And it is just, it's covered out there. So, why I didn't do this last weekend when I was home, literally all I did on Saturday was sit on the couch and watch Ukraine's national finals for Eurovision and snuggle dogs. That's all I did on Saturday. It could have snowed 1.5 feet out there and it would have been fine. But did it do that? No. Is it doing it today when I have to drive to work in it? Yes. I hate it. Thanks. Okay. Anyway, I am going to have to wrap this up here because I do have to get ready for work and head in. And it's probably going to take me a little bit longer than normal looking at the roads out there. So I think this kit's going to turn out really cute when it's done. So I'm excited to show you next week. Now, next week, I do have to do my planner before Saturday because we are leaving on Wednesday for Palm Springs. So I have a kit already picked out. It's ready to go. And I'm gonna do it before we leave. I also have to pack tomorrow night because we leave. It's a whole weird schedule. And I'll talk about that when I do my planner for the week. But we are taking a weird flight on Wednesday. The flight, they didn't have the normal 8 a.m. flight to Vegas that connects to Palm Springs. And then you leave Pittsburgh, I guess it's earlier than that, 7 a.m. You leave Pittsburgh at 7 a.m., you get to Palm Springs around 12:30. That flight is not happening this week. So we had to take a 1 p.m. flight to Vegas, and then we're going to drive to Palm Springs because there was like a 5-hour layover. And I was like, I'm not waiting 5 hours in an airport for a 30-minute flight. We'll just drive the 4 hours, and then we'll get to stop and see. We're going to go to Del Taco because husband has not seen the original Del Taco. And we're going to actually go to the location of the original Del Taco and not just the original. There's 2 original Del Tacos. It's a whole thing. Subscribe today so you can find out the mystery of the original 2 Del Tacos. But anyway, so because of the way the schedule is with the flight, I have to pack tomorrow night so that I'm ready to go. It's a whole thing. It's not in my wheelhouse. I am a last minute packer, and this is not that. So it's going to be a challenge, but this is the planner spread set up for the week. I'm going to finish this up today and tomorrow, and I will do my Palm Springs week planner with y'all next time. So please subscribe if you're new here. And as always, my friends, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. And I will see you in my next video.